Hey guys, Trevor Crane here. I am the founder of Bestseller Big Business. I have a webinar coming up that I can't wait for you to see, and I'm extremely excited. I wanted to give you an insight into 1, 2, 3 things that I'm going to cover on the webinar, but I wanted to give you a little bit of a look at what it's going to be. For years, I struggled to get my book out and done, and one of the challenges was I didn't know the next step. Like, not only did I not know how to write the book and how to publish it and make it a bestseller, but I didn't know what was next. And so my focus, my passion, my obsession for the last 3 years has been all around how can you build a best-selling book, create it really fast, and then build a business behind it. In fact, I got in a fight with my wife about this a few years ago because I had decided what I wanted is I wanted to be a best-selling author. I wanted all my clients to be best-selling authors. I wanted all of us to learn how to grow a big business behind it. And I wanted my wife and I wanted my daughter. My daughter was maybe 5 years old at the time. I said, she can do it. I know she can. And so we got in an argument because she said, this is family time. We're not supposed to be talking about this stuff. And so maybe she was right. But she also said that it was an impossible dream. And I'm very grateful to say that this is one of the books that I published last year. Last year, my wife and I and my daughter published 7 books that went to number 1. And we built a very nice business at the same time. But it's not just about me and my success and my wife's success and my daughter's success. I actually found a publishing team, and I published this book with 20 other best-selling authors. And they're part of my publishing team. One of the challenges was I didn't know all the things I'm going to share with you, so I wanted to learn them. I wanted people on my team to help me, and I want to be here to help you. And this is my whiteboard. I've got different notes on there. Pay attention to this side over here. I'm going to fill in the blanks, and I'm going to talk to you real quickly about what you're going to get on the webinar and maybe a little bit of stuff that's not on the webinar, but I wanted to give you because it's cool. Now, here's one of the first questions people ask, and I have a really cool part in the webinar for you. People say they want to learn how to write the book, but you don't. Everybody knows how to write. Come on, you can grab a pen and you can write, but the question is, how do you write a book fast? So how do you write a book really fast? And what I talk about is helping you go from blank page to best-selling book in 90 days or less. To prove this, I did it with 3 books in the last few months. So we did 3 books at the same time we launched, one of which is my daughter's. This is her second book. That's a best-selling book called Kitty Wars. I'll tell you on the webinar how we did that. Let me see what's another one here. Here's another one. This is one of my books called Greatness Quest. And so this is one of the second books. And this was nothing but an idea that I got done within 90 days. It became a best-selling book, and I've got a big business plan behind it. And this one is What's the Gift? Now, they each have a different purpose. So the first thing to get your book done quickly is that you need to do, and I'm going to cover this on the webinar, but it's really simple. It's strategy first. Can you see that? I see the glare that we've got here. Can you see that? I think that's strategy. And you can't even read my handwriting, so I'm just going to keep talking because it is what it is. Strategy, structure second, and story third. I feel like I'm Tony Robbins right now. Nobody can ever read his handwriting when he draws on the board. But it's strategy, structure, story. Most people get caught up in their story, and they start writing down all their story. I pulled out a box of old stories I have. I have journals that I've kept and postcards that I had written to someone or someone had written to me, and I thought, oh my gosh, one day I'll write a book. I was in my 20s, and I decided I'd write a book called A Backpack and a Smile, because I had traveled around the world, and I thought I had this amazing experience, and I wanted to share it with people. So I've got all these notes, and this is as far as it's gotten. That book never came to fruition. I'm a couple years more than 20 now, and I got caught up in the story. And I talk to people all the time about their books now, and they tell me all about their story and about what's going on, and they get stuck there. So if you think of strategy first, and I have a new friend and a new client who is talking to me about the idea of his book, and what I'm going to talk to you about on the webinar and I'll tell you right now, is you want to figure out what the book is going to be for. Once it's done, let me look at a book here. Once your book is done, where do they go next? What are you going to sell? This book, in and of itself, I'll grab another one of our books here. This is one of my wife's books. This is actually an 8th book that she had done. But what are they going to do next? How are you going to use it? See, when you're building a book, think of it like a tool. So you can build a lot of different tools. In fact, I'll bet you have a toolbox at home and you might have a hammer in there and a saw in there and some screwdrivers in there. But if you need that one perfect tool, let's say an Allen key, like you just can't get the job done unless you have that perfect size Allen key. You can have a whole bunch of others, but you need to have this really perfect thing. Think of your book having that kind of strategy as well. If you get clear about who is going to read your book, now I'll cover this on the webinar in detail, but who is going to read your book? What problems is it going to solve? And then after they've read your book, why when they read it, why would they even want it in the first place? And then when they're, what's next? That's what you want to think about. It's strategy first. It's the business first. So I talked to you about how do you write fast? Well, get clear about why you're writing. Strategy, then structure, then you build an outline. And again, I'll cover this on the webinar in more detail, and I'll give you some specific examples that you can model, that you can do something very similar. You can structure the table of contents and what do people need to go through? What are the steps or the rungs on the ladder for them to go through? And then you can come up with the story. Now, you're like, okay, well, dude, you told me that you're going to show me how to write this fast. That doesn't sound very fast. Like I could have written more if I just would have started on a blank piece of paper. So the next thing to write it fast is most of us can speak faster than we can write. So there's 3 ways you can write your book. You can speak, you can scribe, which is speak is obvious, scribe is where you write it out, and then you can source, O-U-R-C-E. So speak it, scribe it, source it. My daughter's first book, hold on one second. My daughter's first book, Kitty, the 3 Ninja Kitties, she actually recorded into my iPhone. And then we had it transcribed and then sourced it. We found someone to help edit this. I did some of the editing and some of my wife did some of the editing, but we sourced it out. See, a lot of times people think they have to write a book and it's this solitary event. Like you need to do the Ernest Hemingway method and go lock yourself in the woods and write and have no distractions. And that is the opposite of what you want to have. These other 2 points here I'm going to talk about. You're going to get on the webinar. It's going to be awesome. These are secrets people don't know about how do you get a book done and how do you build a business behind it. That's my expertise. That is what I'm passionate about because your book will help you create authority and credibility and build trust in your marketplace because you get to share stories of success. This is another one of my books. Yeah, I'm showcasing them all in front of you, bragging. But the stories in this are sometimes vulnerable. I tell about how I sucked, and I failed. But then I also have action steps in the book. Can you see that? There's action steps. I know where I'm taking them after this. It gives somebody more to do. So it's speak, scribe, and source, and I recommend you use all of them. Speak it out. There's a lot of strategies I'll give you on the webinar about how to do this, but then you can have it transcribed. You can then source it and get some people to help you with it. Okay, so the next thing, number 3, to get a book done fast is pick a shipping. I should have used a different color. Shipping date. Shipping date. Pick a date that this is going to get done. When we launched these books recently and we did them in 90 days and I did 3 at the same time, we had to pick a date. We had to pick a date that they would be due. We picked 90 days out and then we pre-sold that book. A lot of people don't know that you can do it, but I'm going to share with you on the webinar as a bonus the 7 phases of your epic book launch. So I'm going to walk you through that. Now, I want to give you the last 2 things here and I want to give them to you quickly. Let's see, we'll use a different color pen. A lot of people want to know how to make their book a bestseller. But what does that really mean? Yeah, you want a bestseller, but you really want to know the ways to market your book. Like how can you Create a book in such a way that people want it, and then dozens or hundreds or thousands, or add more zeros, want to buy your book. And I'm going to share with you strategies on the webinar that you can use to build a best-selling book. I just gave you one of them, and that is you pre-launch. Before the book is done, you can actually make it available. You tell people about it. And in fact, I would say that you celebrate. I'll make a little face here. You celebrate and tell the world that you have a book coming. You don't want to be quiet alone in your room writing this all on your own. You want to use marketing. Marketing is about getting attention. You want to tell the world that you've got this amazing book coming out. And when you have a shipping date, baby, you better deliver. Okay? Now, the third thing that people want to know, and this is an extra secret I'm going to give away in much more detail on the webinar, is, hold on, got to reveal it here. They want to build a business. That's my promise. I say go to bestsellerBigBusiness.com and register for the webinar if you haven't already. But they want to build a business. What does that mean? What are you in business to do? Now, maybe you serve people, maybe you give them products, maybe you want to give them products and services, but what are they going to give you in exchange? Money. And, you know, this is a sensitive subject for people. I mean, a lot of people will say they want to make more money. In fact, I know very few people that don't say they don't, but they get freaked out about it. They're like, well, with my book, I don't care to make money, you know, and they're like, that's not really the outcome. I care more about legacy and making a difference and having an impact. And I agree. I think you should. But if you don't make any money, if you don't have a business behind this, then all your books, I'm going to turn, this is my bookshelf here, one of my bookshelves, all your books stay on the shelf and nobody buys them because you can't afford to pay for any marketing to get it in front of people so that you can get their attention. And if you don't have a path for people to go from your book to what's next, you're robbing them. You're not giving value. You're not making a difference. You're not giving any impact. And my hope for you is that you come to this webinar and that you pay attention and take something that I share with you and apply it. Like, we've got a great program, and I can support you over the next 90 days to build your own best-selling book. I'm holding up one of the ones that inspires me. This is Tim Ferriss, who's written many best-selling books right now, but he had nothing but an idea, and at one stage it became a reality. And I would say that you have an amazing book inside of you, and what I'm going to share with you is you have more than one. You have many books inside of you, probably. The question that I want to help you with is to get clarity around this mess so that you know the right book to write, how you're going to use it so that people can understand it and then go to the next step with you. And the whole process is one that can help you get clients and make more money and build a business. It's not one where you just have to wait and 6 months from now when you're finally ready. You know, you don't have to be a great writer. You don't have to know exactly what the book is going to be about. You don't have to have a lot of extra time. You don't have to spend a lot of money on this. You need to know the steps. That's it. And I'm very grateful to be able to share them with you because I've been passionate about it and I've been showcasing it lately with my daughter, who wrote this when she was 7, so she can write this amazing book. This is all her original artwork, by the way. I'm very, very proud of her. But if she could do this and have a best-selling book and have a business behind it, there's websites on the back of this book where my daughter helps teach kids to become kids' book authors. And that was one of the things that she sells behind this book. This book, while it does sell well, 3 Ninja Kitties, you can go grab it. It's an amazing book. The real business behind this is her teaching kids to become authors and the niche of kitty products. So she has some products and services that she sells behind this. And I'm not going to tell you, where's the other one? Hold on. I'm going to let you go here 1 second. I'm not going to tell you all the cool stuff we're selling yet behind Kitty Wars, but I will tell you on the webinar, and I'm going to give you so much cool stuff. When you stay to the end of the webinar, this is the last little piece. When you stay to the end of the webinar, I'm going to give you some of the templates to help you market and monetize, so that I'm just going to give them to you on there, what we use to go ahead and build our business. So you're going to get that when you stay to the end of the webinar. It's my free gift to you. This is a longer video than I had planned, but I'm going to let you go. Join me to learn all the secrets about how you can have a best-selling book and build a big business behind it Go to bestsellerbigbusiness.com and register. All right, take care.